Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Busy hour coming up. We appreciate you being part of the ride. We'll get into tonight's basketball card this hour. You're going to hear from Derek Stevens on how Circa did yesterday on the Super Bowl. Also, Pauly asked a terrific question to Thomas Gable from the Borgata in Atlantic City about the weirdest Super Bowl story he's ever been a part of, and his answer was absolutely terrific yesterday on the Sunday morning tailgate show here on VSiN. You're going to hear that coming up this hour as well, and a little on the MVP. Here we head out to the Progressive Guest Line. Patrick Everson joins the program now, senior reporter, does a great job on sports betting for Vegas Insider. You can follow him on X at @PatrickE_Vegas. What's up, Patty? How are you today?
I'm good. It is great to see you both. I always look forward to the day after because you guys are always kind enough to invite me in, and it's fun to talk about how it all went.
Well, what'd you find out overall? The handle. We talked to Mike Palm from Circa last Wednesday, and I said, well, what do we think? Sexy matchup so far? And he goes, maybe at one point the bettors will think it's sexy. So this only goes back a couple of days ago where it's like, I don't know about the handle. What have you heard overall around town in terms of what the popularity was like on the game?
Right. I think it was, to Mike's point, what I heard elsewhere as well is that it was a little soft on the game itself. But on Saturday night, Chris Andrews at South Point said that, but he noted that was just on the game. He said the props were bonkers. There was a lot of action on the Super Bowl props. So I don't think they were too, concerned about how it was going to land overall. I will say this, and I was really hoping this would pop up before I jumped on with the two of you, but anytime now this afternoon, Nevada's numbers are coming out, the handle and the hold percentage. They have not, from what I can see so far, they have not dropped yet, but they're going to drop any minute now. And obviously that's going to tell the tale, but I won't be surprised if it's a little soft, but, and Nevada was, low relatively last year. I think it was as far as total handle, it was their sixth best handle and well off the record from 2 years ago. However, Nevada's hold last year was the best ever. It was something like, I think it was like $22 million or something like that. The most they'd ever held, not as a percentage, but as just the sheer dollar amount. So I'll be interested to see this. It should be coming up sometime soon, sometime in these next 2 hours. I got to assume they're going to get this out before close of business from Carson City. So, and as soon as I see it, I'll pop it on X and hopefully you guys can look at it too.
Thank
you. We'll see. That'll tell the tale. But I think you're right. I think it wasn't seen as too sexy of a matchup. But again, the props seem to, most guys I've talked to have been like, well, the props still took quite a bit of action, even if the game itself. Action on the game itself is a little soft.
You were at the Westgate when it happened. Explain the loud roar and how much money, if you can put it in perspective, how big of a swing it was that the holding call on Walker negated the touchdown.
It's massive, and it's funny, Pauly. I haven't been able to get there. A couple of different odds makers got back to me on this, including at Caesars and at BetMGM and elsewhere, and nobody's kind of even given a general specific number of the swing, but they just noted it was a massive swing. And I got to think that was seven figures, because how many anytime touchdown bets were made on Kenneth Walker III? How many perhaps anytime touchdown parlays might have been completed with Kenneth Walker III? How many bettors had the over either in straight bets or in parlays? And it's a ton, because this is the Super Bowl. And that's how it goes. And I mean, week to week in the NFL, the public is always going to be on favorites and over, and that would have gotten the favorite and over there. So it had to be just a massive swing. I got a pretty good comment from Craig Mucklow. He's the vice president of trading for sports. His hearts were in our mouths when Walker ran in the needless. It would have been a monumental swing for bettors, again, without getting super specific. But he called it a monumental swing, and I'm sure it was. And going back and forth with Tristan Davis, he's trading manager for BetMGM nationally, but he's based here in Las Vegas. He works out of Las Vegas. And what he said, it was a good day, mostly because back the Walker touchdown. He said swing, same game parlay, and anytime touchdown wise. So he said, so despite the favorite covering, we are pleased with the result. We will sign for that. But I'm not sure they would have signed for that if that touchdown had held and you'd gotten, Walker bets, Walker props cashing and tons of parlays and same game parlays cashing on that play as well.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I've lived here for 26 years, and I know you have a story what happened last week. I'd love to do an interview and find out. I can't believe the $250,000 bet on the coin toss at Caesars.
It's wild because like you and I were talking about a little bit off air before I jump. You might see like 25 or 50,000 that maybe a sports book or two will let people have on the, we'll let a high roller or whomever have on the coin toss. They'll let them get carried away a little bit. But $250,000 on the coin toss is just, when I saw that drop yesterday, I was like, wow, that is a lot. I will say that was at Caesars and it was on heads, and obviously the better won and cashed out for like $246,000, whatever it was, before the game even kicks off, which is, you got to admit, that's a nice position to be in. But, yes. But on the flip side, Caesars also earlier, a few days ago, maybe like middle of last week, I think, they also took $100,000 play on tails. So while they still, if you put those two together, it's still a loser for the book. They did get $100,000 back on the bettor who took tails on the coin toss, which even then, that's to me just an unfathomable amount. But that's the Super Bowl in a nutshell for you.
It is, no doubt. I was surprised at the local spot here, Station Casinos, how many big bets came in on the Patriots. Were you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that surprised me too, because I think I assume what the two of you heard is a lot of what I heard over the last 2 weeks, and that is that the Seahawks are real popular, certainly nationally, on the spread. And Caesars even told me at one point late last week, Thursday, Joey Fiesel, the head of football trading at Caesars, he said, usually what you see is the public either takes numbers around this number. You see the public laying the points with the favorite or taking the dog on the money line. Mm-hmm. And he said as late as Thursday, Friday, they were still seeing more money line dollars on the Seahawks as well as more spread dollars on the Seahawks. So he said that was kind of unusual. So even made those station bets jump out quite a bit. But yeah, it was, I'm glad around town people are getting down and money's making its way off of the strip and downtown and getting to some of these other books. But definitely that was a surprise. Definitely some big ones that Chuck Esposito and his team saw over there at Station.
So you talk to everyone and you dance around town on a regular basis. You did a great job when Jay Rude was retiring at the Mirage of the all-time stories, and guy came in, he thought he was homeless. Mm-hmm. And he took a $250,000 bet, judging a book by its cover. Have you, as a manager, ever told you a strange request from a customer over the years, or a strange question? Because I told the story yesterday. When Cornegay was at the Westgate, a lady came up and said, "Are you going to show the game on television?"
Wow, I certainly can't beat that one. I can't off the top of my head think of those strange requests. The one you pointed out from Jay Rude was an all-timer. Like you said, it was for those who don't know, it was a guy came bag full of money and asked for a bet. I think it was on like a Colts Broncos game or something like that. And the gentleman was not, kind of rough looking, said, "Hey, how much can I get down on, Colts spread?" And that's just the best story. And Jay Rude literally said, "Buddy, you can have as much as you want." And starts pulling out these stacks and stacks of, $100 bills. And, it was like $250,000 or whatever it was. And to their credit, they took the bet. Robert Walker was running the show there at the time for Resort Sportsbooks. And Jay said, "Hey, I think I may have made a big mistake here." But Robert's like, "Hey, you told him he could get it. Let's go and let's take the bet and see where we go." And the gentleman ended up, if I recall correctly, he ended up winning the bet. And then Jay Rude said never saw him again. He almost kind of vanished into thin air in the way that, although after a longer period of time, in the way that Duffel Bag Better did back in the several years ago.
That's right. Patrick, we always appreciate coming on for the aftermath of this big game. Thanks so much for popping on the show today. We appreciate it. Have a good football offseason, okay?
Absolutely. Keep an eye out soon. Hopefully on X, I'll have those Nevada numbers when they come out, which will help tell the story for sure.
Sure. And he's going to put those on Twitter as well. You can follow him. Does a great job at Patrick PAULE_Vegas, and he is a senior sports betting reporter for Vegas Insider.
He thought he was homeless.
Yeah, and that's why he assumed it was going to be $100.
Yeah, the guy had like a little money in a little grocery bag, and guy pulls out $250. Give me the Colts then. Okay.
Just it keeps coming. The money won't end.
Got to make the phone call to the boss. Hey, put us in a tough spot here.
That's the funny thing, right? As soon as you put that out there and say, buddy, we'll take whatever you want, you kind of got to take it.
Were you surprised by that? I know Chuck Esposito was on the network here, but all the six-figure bets that came in at the local spots on the dog. I was surprised. I was shocked by that.
I wonder how much of that was, well, we know some spots did that as hedge bets. Here at Circa, MGM for sure, because the same guy, from what we understand, it was a one-off here at Circa, was dancing all over in August. Here, BetMGM, others, and had huge bets on Seahawks futures.
Yeah.
So I wonder if anybody else is doing the same thing.
Interesting, he did playoffs, conference, Super Bowl, but didn't do division. I found that
He didn't do division at all?
He did playoffs, conference, Super Bowl.
Wow. From what I understand, division was as high as 7-1 here at Circa.
I believe it.
Wow. They won 10 games last year.
Yeah. Still paying full price for gas. Don't have to with the free Upside app. Earn real cash back every time you fill up. Download Upside from the app or Google Play Store and start earning today. Promo code NETWORK. Get an extra 25 cents back per gallon on your first fill up. Drivers are saving $200 to $300 a year. Download the free Upside app now. Promo code NETWORK. Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com. Terms and conditions, code NETWORK.
We have referred to Circa owner Derek Stevens as Andy Dufresne in the past. You'll know why coming up next.
So you're listening to this podcast because you want an edge. But what if I told you you're only halfway there? You've got the mindset. Now it's time to get the toolkit to match. Here's the thing. Pro bettors spend thousands on data and tools, but what they don't want you to know is you can get the same edge for a fraction of the cost with VSiN Pro. With VSiN Pro, you get access to expert picks, public betting data, prop projections, powerful tools, analytics, and more. Tap the link in the description and see why thousands of bettors are already using VSiN Pro to cash more bets.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Still to come this hour, tonight's basketball card. Some good matchups on paper. We'll discuss Super Bowl MVP. Good stuff there from Patrick Everson, who covers sports betting for Vegas Insider. Also, remember when Mike Palm, Derek Stevens would come on this show or the network and say that they're buried in Seattle liability because of the bettor that was here and has massive tickets on futures overall? Well, as I said before the break, we have referred to Derek Stevens as Andy Dufresne before. The very end of Shawshank Redemption, he crawls through 500 yards of muck and comes out smelling like roses on the other side. We joke about it. Derek's a great guy. I think he would laugh about it as well.
Great scene in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Great scene in cinema history.
Probably put that top
Taken
5
through the
movie
wall.
ever.
Yes.
Yeah. When they first pulled down the poster, my God, the reaction.
Sure.
But so they had that all built up.
What'd you say, fuzzy britches?
So here's Derek Stevens last night. He went on with Dustin Sweetelson on cashing out and explained what the day was like.
Of a player that was going to come in, and the line moved and decided to make a play elsewhere, and it was Seattle. And then our number stood, and then just completely randomly, we had another individual call and say, "Hey, I'd like to get $1 million on New England money line." So we thought we were going to be taking $1 million Seattle, and we ended up taking $1 million on New England. And really, for us, that flipped the day. I think a lot of people know. Like, I was expecting we're gonna book a big loser today. Circus Sports was, because we went in losing $1.6 million on futures. You know, we took too much. And way back when we were saying, we could give him an extra $50,000 on Seattle. Seattle's got no shot. Well, I mean, I'm the guy that's got to be the last guy standing here. And we went in a real bad situation of the game. And to think that we were able to book a winner overall today, even with paying out that future, pretty amazing. I never would have thought we could have ever had a winning day, but we ended up having a very good day. One of the best Super Bowls that Circus Sports has ever had.
How about that, Pauly? Bettors are happy everywhere for Derek Stevens and Circus Sports.
How about that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah,
It
the
works
story,
out
too,
in
about I put us in a tough spot agreeing to that. Well, come on, it's Seattle. They're not going to. 50,000 at 60 to 1, 50,000 at 30 to 1.
Well, here is the great thing about Derek is that he likes to gamble.
Yes.
So they like taking big bets here.
Mm-hmm.
They open their arms to it. They're not opposed to that. Hell, their limits on the app for anybody they're massive. So
Absolutely.
I like that it's not like, hey, we're going to have 50-50 action. Like he wants to have a sweat a lot of times.
Yeah, I was stunned by the last Jake, whatever his name is, Jake Paul fight. I mean, the limits on that?
Yeah.
Who knows what could have happened? Of all things. Taking 6-7 figures on that thing. Please. Oh.
All right, so this is also a good soundbite. You're kicking around stories with Patrick Everson, previous segment. Pauly and I did our last Sunday morning tailgate show yesterday. It was a lot of fun throughout the entire year. Everybody did a great job on it. The guests were awesome as well. And we brought on Thomas Gable, who is the man in charge of the race and sportsbook over at the Borgata in Atlantic City. And Pauly asked him about like the strangest Super Bowl story that he can remember.
We had a gentleman, this was the year Tampa played Kansas City. He came in, mid-afternoon on Super Bowl Sunday, was kind of milling around looking at the odds boards. He came up to a teller and just made a statement. He was wearing a backpack, and he made a statement, said, I have $240,000 in my bag. And that was it. That's all he said. And then he walked away. And we're like, okay, this is weird. So he comes back right before game time and bets Tampa first quarter. For the he did have $240,000 with him. He put it all in Tampa first quarter, which hit. He then came back at halftime. So now he has, roughly $480,000. I forget exactly if it was even money on Tampa in that first quarter, but he rolled that all into a 2-team parlay for the second half. Tampa with the total, and he ended up hitting that as well. Oh. So now we know he has a ticket out there for worth $1.2 million and change. So we'd seen him 3 times there. We'd seen him when he first came up and made the statement of what he had in his bag. Then when he made his bet for the first quarter, then at halftime. So we saw 3 times. He was by himself all 3 times. I get a call. Now we're cashing everybody out at the end of the night. I get a call saying, hey, this guy's here. He's requesting a check for the $1.2 million. I said, great, I'll be right there. Literally took me 2 minutes to get over to the book at the counter. He's gone. And I said, where did this guy go? And they said, well, this time he had like 6 women with him. And when he asked for a check, they all started badgering him. No, get the cash. And he got scared and he left. So we didn't see him the rest of the night. A couple days go by. We don't see him. I'm thinking he's going to come in. We don't see him. I reach out to him via phone, leave a message. No return call back. So now we're starting to think, well, is this guy, tied up in somebody's basement? Is he in the trunk of a car somewhere? And, because he's literally walking around with a ticket worth $1.2 million. Now, nobody can obviously do anything with the ticket. So a few weeks go by, and I get a call from him. He's alive. And he says, I want to come in. I want all cash. And I said, are you sure about that? He said, yes. And I said, okay, when are you coming? He says, I'm going to be there for the first day of March Madness. So I said, okay, great. He does show up. He stayed for the first 3-4 days of March Madness. Needless to say, he left with his original $240,000. That was it. We kept the rest for he lost the rest back through the tournament for the first 4 days.
God.
That guy made a very smart move by not agreeing to get the cash with the 6 women because all would have been gone.
Well, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe you just give him a couple $100,000, and then the March Madness scenario doesn't happen.
Or maybe they spike it. Maybe they spike his drink, and he wakes up the next day without a kidney, and all the money's gone.
It sounds like DBB. You know what I'm talking about. It sounds like our old friend. Hey, I got. Who does that? Hey, I got $240,000 on me, and then walks away.
Walks right away.
Right. And then you can't get a hold of the guy for 6 weeks.
Sure.
After he's got $1 million ticket on.
Like, what's going on in the person's life?
Yes.
Is it? Does he live the life of a rock star, where it's, drugs, booze, women all the time. And he just is like, yeah, I'll be back when I get back. I don't need the money. I got oodles of cash. I'm worth, millions of dollars. Doesn't matter to me. I'll see you in a couple of weeks whenever. Not responding.
I know. You never know. It's like that Rick Solomon. It kind of sounds like Rick Solomon a little bit, too. He was in the infamous Paris Hilton video. He came from money. He made a ton of money doing that. He plays professional poker. He's had drug issues. Guy told the story. He ran into Solomon. He's smoking crack. He goes, yeah, but I'm going to rehab. I start rehab tomorrow. So, okay.
So I'll be fine.
The guys that sounds like Solomon with some crazy stories where he's eccentric and weird and winning millions of dollars at the poker table and would just walk up and, I got $240,000 in a backpack. Okay. And then that's it. And then finally comes back and bets something.
Well, remember that when Nick Bogdanovich was with William Hill, he's now with Boomers here in Las Vegas, he would tell the story that after every big event, people would come to, this is before sports betting got national, right? Or right as it was getting national as well. People would come to Las Vegas for all these big events, and they would go on a 3-day bender, and they may or may not have it in the app. They might have paper tickets, and we're talking about winners here, lots of money, and they would just lose
Staggering number.
It would go to the trash.
He said high six figures.
It was absolutely at the end of every single year when they would look up how much money has gone unaccounted for from people who lost their tickets, unclaimed, whatever. It was always in the 6 figures. You come to town for a big boxing event, you hang out, you have too much to drink at the whatever it is, and all of a sudden, oops, I forgot about that. Where's my ticket?
Boy, has the app saved a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because write it off, forget about it. Where did it go? Whoop, I lost it. I guess I'm SOL. And
because
do a claim, but staggering.
Yeah, how many people do you think that happened to after a weekend of boozing or however many ever days, they never realized that they could do the unclaimed ticket thing?
Yeah.
Probably all of them where that money was just theirs now, all of a sudden, the books.
Ozzy told me a story. He was at the Bellagio, and he had a big ticket. And the guy, because he used his player's card, the guy looked it up. They paid him out in like 2 hours. Usually it's like send you a check in the mail. It's a couple-week thing, 30-day thing, whatever. Yeah. And they just, here it is. I see you bet it here. And they like paid him 2 hours later while he went to get something to eat, came back. Here you go, sir.
Oh.
I mean, that's
like a big VIP?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that also helps if you can. But these guys aren't thinking that, though, too. If you're not betting big or you don't remember what your bet was when you placed it, the amount, all that. But yes. Great.
Yeah.
I got money in my backpack. I'll see you later. Big gulps, huh? I mean, what crazy. People are crazy.
Of course they are.
It's just nuts, the characters you run into and the stuff. Like, imagine you're walking up to the table or the counter and the guy's got $500,000 on it. What did you do? I bet heads in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, sure.
I'm up $250 already.
Let me go cash this ticket real quick. It's $500,000. Super Bowl MVP chatter coming up next. Time for a level-headed conversation about this. I had Walker. I had Myers. I'm going to tell you the most realistic response to the award. You're going to hear from anybody who bets on it next.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Pauly, did you have a bet on Jason Myers to win the Super Bowl MVP?
Yes, at bad odds.
Well, what's bad?
At 90-1.
Well, I mean, trust me. I mean, I had 250-1, but they didn't take a big bet on it.
Okay.
It just spins and spins and spins, and it's just like, here's what you're going to get. I'm like,
I said I can see a case, ugly, low-scoring game. You know how I am about kickers. I did the article every week, vsin.com. This guy was money. Warren Sharp had a good breakdown, too, on the pregame show on how this guy usually would kick 2 field goals a game. And he had a great year, and I thought it could be like a 19-16, it could be an ugly game, and he has 5 field goals. Right. I said that.
Yeah, we were talking about this when the playoffs started. Here on this show, JVT and I did it on Pod of the Futures.
Yes.
So
you have bet Butker before.
Yeah, I did. A couple years ago, 410-1, and the odds on Fairbairn were 2,000-1 for Houston. Like, there was a path where if Houston gets to the Super Bowl, they can win a 12-7 game, and he's got all 4, field goals, and that's how they scored their points. Myers was another guy we brought up. So I had him. I had a couple of other guys. I had the winner, Kenny Walker, at 15-1 after the Charbonnet injury. I tweeted this last night after the game. I had Jason Myers 250-1 to win the MVP. I'm not even suggesting he deserved to win despite kicking 5 field goals, but if not tonight, then it's never going to happen for a kicker. Books shouldn't offer the position. In fact, the league should come out and say they're ineligible. Is that a pretty fair comment to make?
It's a little over the top, but yeah, fair. What helps your position was what happened afterwards, that he wasn't listed on the fan ballot.
That's absolutely correct. That was during the game.
Right. That's hard to believe, because at that point it's 12-0, and like even Tirico thought the Walker touchdown getting called back was big for the MVP. But I thought it was Walker all the way. Now, he did make 5, but they were short ones. 2 were 41. But Walker was too good. Walker going for $140. I thought it was a reason. But I still think it had to be Butker if he was going to hit a walk-off a couple years ago. I thought that's the case. You needed Charbonnet to be playing, and they both had 60, 70 yards rushing, split it. And then you had a stronger case. But then it goes back to would the voters have done something defensively? I don't know.
Does it sound like I was crying there?
No, not at all. You're close. I mean, you're thinking there's a chance, though.
Right.
He's got 5 field goals.
And I said I'm not even suggesting that he deserved to win.
It was a defensive team effort.
1,000%.
Yes.
Now,
yes.
I'll raise my hand. I am guilty of making a case for a guy that I have bets on in every sport for every award. I do it. It's just human nature, right? But I'm also like a realistic human being, I think, level-headed to some of this stuff. For example, I won a lot of money this year to Drake May winning the MVP. I would have won, I should say, a lot of money on him. I said down the stretch, he's not the guy. It has to go to Stafford.
Yes.
So I try to be logical about this stuff. That was not me crying. In fact, I will also point out that the people who, before I do this, Pauly, you said we've been here for 26 years. I moved out here about 2 months after you did.
Mm-hmm.
So we've known a lot of bettors, pros, a lot of people in this racket, odds makers, for a long, long time. I have never met a single person in Las Vegas in my time here who once said to me, I don't believe you, show me your ticket. Not one time. In almost 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
Twitter is not real life, because Twitter or X, it's happened at least for the last 5 years, specifically since sports betting became a thing nationally. 90% of the time it's from trolls or burners or nameless / faceless accounts. And that's what I was getting last night. Don't believe me, show me your ticket. I wouldn't. Who are you?
It's going to make that
Where
up.
does this come from?
Right. That's the comedian Bill Burr saying, if you would have to put where you live and where you work before you would send a tweet, you would eliminate all this stuff.
Yeah.
The negativity, the outrage, the trolls, the nonsense, the losers, everything.
Right.
Yeah.
So to piggyback the tweet that I sent, I thought it was going to be a benign tweet.
Yes.
I've gotten a lot of responses.
That's
way more than
yes.
I thought, right?
Yeah, I can't believe it. 330,000 views.
I was expecting 6 people to see it, and now we're going to move on, right? Okay, so to prove my point, go one step even farther on this. Again, I had Myers 250-1. This is all on the air. I had tickets in pocket. No, I'm not going to show you because you're a dope if you ask me for it. Just trust me on that, okay? Kenneth Walker 15-1 after the Charbonnet injury. I would not have given it to either guy. I thought both bets should have been losers. You just said it. Defense ruled the day.
Who am I giving it to, though?
Hall,
team effort?
Hall and Murphy each had 2 sacks. Witherspoon, how about the Witherspoon
great.
stat correction?
Yeah.
The sack, the tackle for a loss, that was actually going to be 2 sacks. And then was it a forced fumble? It actually was before they decided it was an interception.
Right.
Pass deflection, 3 quarterback hits. I would have given it to Witherspoon, the MVP, because the defense ruled the day for the Seahawks. That, to me, that side of the ball was the MVP for Seattle. And then I know that people are going to say, well, how do you just give it to one person? Just pick a guy, because you had 6 guys to choose from.
That's the time where you just could have said the MVP's the Seattle defense.
100%.
But my comeback would be, if Walker can't win it, you can't give it to a running back.
Well,
it had been 28 years.
I know that. I understand.
Before Terrell Davis was the last running back to win the MVP.
Yeah.
And if I have almost 100 at the half and I go for 135, whoo. And Everson's right. The same game parlays, the alts, all that. I mean, if that's not called back you're looking at like 190 yards and a score.
Oh, yeah. By the way,
those are big tickets.
That's also last touchdown scorer of the game, potentially.
That's another one, yes.
Last Seahawks touchdown scorer of the game.
Yes.
And that's all going to multiply then. The laddering of the yards, the anytime touchdown,
Game
all of that
goes
stuff.
over, yes.
And so when, and again, the gentleman that he talked to at one of the books, who didn't give him a number, but he said that was a monumental switch or a flip. We're talking about a lot of money there. I can't even imagine like how big the seven figures might be.
If it's a two-headed attack, like if it's Charbonnet healthy and they split the yards, then we got something here.
I don't know.
But it's also, what if they, then I think the distance is important, though. I mean, they're 33, 33, 41, 41, 39. It's not realistic, but I think that's why it's 250 and 300 to 1 for a reason.
Well, sure.
You got to hit from 50 out. These got to be bangers, bombs. Well, I wouldn't rule it out. Can a Cam Little get it? Can an Aubrey win? It'll never happen. The Cowboys will never make it. But if the Cowboys can get in the Super Bowl and you have Aubrey, if the guy's hitting from 59, 62, 53.
Is that going to be enough?
Yeah, I would think so.
So people were explaining to me, don't say never. Never say never. Because here's, to your point, if the kicker is making 4 or 5 field goals of 50 yards, and one happens to be at the gun for the game winner. Well, okay,
that's right. You had it. The Butker game. You had it.
But here's the thing.
That was a scenario.
How many Super Bowls they only get a one-off?
Yeah.
The game is not played 10,000 times. You get a one-off every single year. Let's say we live to 100. Are we going to have a game like that? My answer is no. We're not going to. And then I would also add this: if a team wins 15-14, and all 15 points come at the foot of a kicker, including the game winner at the buzzer,
right?
I think they would look at the quarterback or the running back or whichever player got him down the field at that point, because the narrative is always going to change to avoid. Myers wasn't even considered last night. He's the only guy who scored through 3 quarters.
Mm-hmm.
So I can never bet the position ever again.
I wouldn't say. I think that's a mistake.
Okay, wait till next year then.
I think the distance is what's got you there too. And Walker was so good. Yeah, I think they got it right, but there's still a scenario, right?
I don't think there is.
If you put 1,000 monkeys in a room, one of them will write Shakespeare. You can, Aubrey, Little. It's about the distance too, right?
Okay, so
you need like a 29, 23, maybe even lower scoring, but no one does anything crazy from an offensive standpoint in terms of the numbers, and it's got to be, I got a 52, a 57, a 59, and a game winner.
Who's the MVP of the Seattle-Indianapolis game where the Seahawks scored 18 points, all of them via Jason Myers?
Myers.
Are you sure?
Myers, absolutely.
I'm not sure.
Those were bombs, though, yes. Those were bombs.
I don't know if he wins it.
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just jaded after last night. But again, I don't even think, like I said, I would have given it to a defensive player.
That's your scenario. Good job. There's your scenario. We already saw it. Myers against the Colts. That was it. And the game winner.
I'm going to need more than 250 to 1 then.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right.
Okay. That'll give you.
We agree then.
Okay. 330,000 views. How about that?
Yeah, whatever.
That's great.
It is what it is.
Can't believe it. You never know what gets traction. Football season may be wrapped up, but the betting calendar heating up. VSiN Pro has you covered. March Madness right around the corner. MLB season fast approaching. Perfect time to bet smarter with VSiN Pro. Every best bet, every host, every guest. The real-time DK and Circa betting splits. AI-powered prop tools. The betting guides. The MLB betting guide. Dropping February 17th. Get started today, just $9.99. Or save 50% with an annual subscription. VSiN.com/subscribe. Get it now, $9.99 for the madness. VSiN.com/subscribe.
All right, we'll recap the action that we had in the Super Bowl and tell you what we're betting moving forward with in-pocket plays coming up on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
To determine the winner of any given college basketball game.
Someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything. You take it, take it, take it.
I bet you
$20, I can get you gambling before the end of the day. No way. I'll give you 3-1 odds. Nope. 5-1. Nope. 10-1. You're on.
All right, ftm@vsin.com. Tweet at us as well. We'll do tip jar tomorrow. Also, if I missed anything with the beats or big tickets that cashed in the Super Bowl, to expand on the discussion, a fun discussion. The game we're talking about was December 14th. Seattle beat Indy 18-16. Myers had 6 field goals. 47, 52, 46, 32-30, but he hit one, the game winner from 56. Outside, in the elements, that's what you need.
Then I need more than 500 to 1.
That is correct.
I'm not betting any of this 200 to 1 stuff ever again.
The distance is also important, I believe.
Okay, so I would.
These are, and that was a game Groupie hit from 60, and he had a couple bangers too because they were playing so conservative. It was the first game for Rivers. Groupie hit from 54, 60, 42. Game was madness.
Okay, so you have won me over.
That's your game.
I will concede a kicker can potentially win the MVP. That scenario is very unlikely to happen in our lifetime, and right. I need at least 500 to 1 then to bet a kicker ever again.
Yeah.
And if they win it, that's fine. I'm just not going to have a ticket on 100 or 200 to 1 because that scenario to play out in the Super Bowl, that's almost impossible.
Yep, that is tough. You need a Myers, you need a Little, you need an Aubrey, you need something like that.
Let me give you this from X, Jets Pete on Twitter. On the MVP talk, after James White,
a lot of people thought he got robbed.
After he didn't win with 140 yards and 3 touchdowns, including the first overtime touchdown, it was hard to ever bet a running back again. I swore off running backs after that, so never say never with kickers. After Walker takes it home yesterday.
That? 28 years.
Yeah.
Terrell Davis.
White was 200 to 1 in that game.
Yes, he was.
Unbelievable case.
All right, I got hooked. Unbelievable. I got hooked on the Drake May rushing yards. Unbelievable. Finished with 37.
And he only had 5 carries.
But, yeah, Henderson over receiving. Boy, that was crazy.
What if he's not tackled?
Good. Yes. So I watched this several times. First of all, May makes a bad throw.
Mm-hmm.
He's lucky he caught it. They dump it off and throw a screen on the final play of the game. No one there. Lead blocker. If that guy doesn't make the tackle, I ain't saying she a goal digger. I don't know if he scores. But that gets interesting. And then all the alts cash.
Oh, yeah.
There's only one guy who can bring them down. And then what does he do? Is it 50? Does he wind up with 50 yards receiving? Does he take it inside the 5? My God, does he break a tackle and score? He was plus 450 anytime touchdown.
Sure.
He could have been last.
That would have been last.
That would have
game
cashed.
Goes over.
Oh, my God.
And 50, by the way, 50 plus receiving was 35 to 1 when it first opened.
What?
35 to 1 for 50 plus when it first opened. That was the highest rung of the ladder for him.
I watched it several times. There's one guy there. And he gives up because, I mean, if he could just stay alive and stay on his feet and break that tackle.
I'm losing my mind at home watching that play.
Yeah.
I'm like, go! Because I have him every which way but loose. And I'm like, was that 28 yards? Because he needed 28 to get to 30. And that's where I laddered him all the way up to 30. Like, please, for the love of God, tell me that was. And I look immediately, 24 yards.
24 yards. Oh. 3 catches was 6 to 1. Both quarterbacks complete their first pass. No, loser. Matt Collins over, easy winner. 23 to 1, most yards receiving. Good job, Mac.
Yeah.
Shortest touchdown under, loser. 5 of the last 6 had won. Nothing. Thought we were going to get a PI there, though. They put the ball at the 1, and no help from the Patriots. Both teams kick a 33-yard field goal. Unbelievable there, too. Over 7.5 players with a rush attempt. That got steamed up to like 250.
Oh!
There were 7. Come on, where's the tush push? Something.
Only 3 from the Pats?
Yeah.
What, Halani, Shaheed, Walker, Darnold?
Mm-hmm.
That's it?
No tush push, garbage. Henderson, Alts, 40-plus rushing, no good. Only had 19 yards, didn't get a lot of attempts, which was disappointing. This was easy, this was ice cream. Should have been stronger on this. Especially, well, it's easy to, but Walker, 5 yards each quarter, $1.10, 25 yards each half, $1.20. Both winners. Stevenson, MVP, DOA. Longest touchdown drive under 79.5 yards, winner.
What was the longest drive, you know?
No, I don't. 65, I want to say.
Well, it doesn't matter. It's a winner.
65. Okay. Shortest scoring drive over 59.5. No good. NFL.com says 57. Yahoo said minute 2. That's what we got that discrepancy too with the what Circa did with the kicker make a tackle. I saw it with my own eyes. Myers knocked Henderson out of bounds. Largest lead under 14.5, loser. Yes, I got it on. I had the right approach, but defensive player scores an offensive touchdown. Quarter unit, loser. Defensive player, no. That'd be the Vrabel angle, not the pick six. More alts on Henderson. No good. Interception occur in the end zone, 9-1, loser. And any reception following a lateral. I thought we were going to get it there at some point with the Patriots playing catch-up, little razzle-dazzle.
Yeah, you were live.
So the 12-1, no good. Took some shots, didn't happen. Bad game. Fourth quarter saved it. Yikes, 12-0 going into the fourth quarter. New England, 51 yards at halftime, 4 first downs, 78 yards through their first 10 drives. Disgrace. Out-coached big time.
Oh, yeah.
Good job, Seattle.
Anything tonight?
No.
Okay, all right.
There you go, kid.
Henderson, every which way but loose. And that doesn't even include, I guess I didn't have those in pocket with the receptions.
Well, you're feeling good when he had his first catch for -2 yards.
Oh, yeah, great.
Just to play reception, though.
Yep. Over a half, over 1.5. The Kenneth Walker over 21.5 got there. 3.5 sacks, plus 110 for the Seahawks was a winner.
Yeah, 7 sacks in the game, paid 7-1.
Okay.
Oh, you got Shaheed. How about that?
Oh, that was.
It's the end around and stuff.
Well, so I would say this, right? I love the breakdown from Paul Charchian last week. All-time great breakdown. They telegraphed that from Fresno. I mean, my God, Sebastian, who's a year and a half old, could see that thing coming. So that had no prayer, unfortunately, because that was a bigger bet for me. 2 units on that one. And going back to Friday night, Jarris Walker did, in fact, get to 15-plus points at plus 190. I think was that it maybe for the game for me here? Okay, tonight, let me go. This is an inflated number now because of several reasons, but Keontae George is out for Utah.
Yeah.
The kid to look at here is Isaiah Collier. And let me point out, when the Jazz next year, I can't wait to see their win total. They are going to be dangerous with Markkanen, George, Jackson, Bailey, Collier, others. His assists, his last 3 games, 10, 11, and 22. His prop for tonight's in the 10.5 or 11 range already. Now, get this. He played 40. I had to triple check the box score. He played 48 minutes each against Atlanta and Indiana. He played 32 against Orlando. Keontae George was in the lineup before exiting early. He's also averaging 20.3 points per game in 4 February games. I'm taking a shot here on 30. This is with the PA. I hope I put it on the website as only points and assists. There's no rebounds here. Sorry about that. But it's 30 plus or over 29.5 points and assists tonight for Isaiah Collier from Utah. And this number has gotten too far out of control tonight. NC State has won 6 games. They're playing good basketball. Now, it's not like they're beating Murderers Row here, but they did have a win against Clemson on the road in overtime. They came back. I filed that one away. They were getting buried against SMU at halftime. They put together a great run. Didn't cover that game, but they won outright. Probably should have covered. 7.5 is a big number. Give me that number with the Wolfpack tonight against Louisville. That game starts here pretty soon.
Okay. I got to lose some here quickly. How about Diggs? With like 2 minutes left in the game, he caught a pass inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah?
They're getting their ass kicked. He only has 1 catch. He spins the ball and does the first down. Yep. He had 1 catch in the game, and they're getting killed.
Look at me right now.
I couldn't believe I'm laughing. I go, what are you doing? Oh, my God. College Hoops Grind is where real bettors find their edge. Dozens of games at night, constant line movement, opportunity for those who know where to look. You're not beating billion-dollar books or full-time sharps on your own. With the sharp plays, you don't have to. Powered by advanced AI, connected insider sources. AI plays up 50 units. Jeff and the crew do a great job highlighting sharp action, key numbers, and market shifts before the public catches up. Free reports, alerts, public logs, transparent results, Mr. Poison tweets. They've been at it since 2011. Sharpplays.com, trusted by pros, monitored by the books. A lot of same-game parlays hit, though, too, and a lot of the quick picks stuff that was offered. You could have bet like all these guys to have 2 catches or over 20 yards.
Uh-huh.
Kupp, Barner, Shaheed, Walker, Hollins, Pop, Stevenson, Diggs, Henry, Hooper.
Oh, that's because they were so low, basically.
All 2 catches, right. All had at least 2 receptions, though. And even Booty had Booty, Henry, Diggs, Stevenson, Pop, Hollins, Warner, Cup, all went over 20 yards, too. All that stuff like 8-9 to 1, even if you lowered it, and those 20-yard stuff that was available.
By the way, never brought this up. Those 2 catches by Matt Collins were fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Had to have those.
Yeah.
All right, great job by everybody involved today. That'll do it for us. Stay tuned. You're going to get VSiN Prime Time the next 4 hours, all the live betting tonight with a really fun basketball card. Good luck tonight.